Eko kora, mawo bohe wale say, mawo bohe wale mawo no. The funk of all no. In your life, it's all you can come away. Eko kora, nyamano. Mawo bohe wale mawo no. The funk of all no. In your life, it's all you can come away. Eko kora, nyamano. Ma wachepo, the ocean left shona, she a onu. Come on, in your life, you told you just come away. Oh, in your life, you told you just come away. Listen, I am the Lord, the one who keepeth thee. I'm the one who gives you strength, and I will uphold you. See, I am the Lord. Come on. Come on, sing. He can't cash it, she can't boy. He can't be Jordan boy. Come on. He can't cash it from company. No. He can't be Jordan boy. Everybody, let's go. He can't cash it from company. Come on. Let me Joshua and Gio and God. Come on. Cash it. I am the Lord, the one who keepeth thee. I'm the one who gives you strength, and I will uphold you by my hands. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can we be upstanding for just a minute and let's share a word of prayer, please. Eternal Father, we thank you, we bless you, we exalt you, we honor you, and we say thank you for how far you've brought us. Yes, indeed, if it had not been for the Lord, where would we be? Through the high times, through the good times, through the bad times, you've been our God, you've held our hands. You've given us the strength and our ability to maneuver the test of time. And today we still stand strong at 150 as in Mfantsipim School. Lord, we have gathered here to launch this beautiful celebration. And we give it all up to you and we say, Father, take control. From now to the end, take absolute control. That when everything is over, the glory and the honor will be given to nobody else but you. Thank you, Jesus, and we bless you. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless you and thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, MOBA 2006, Perez Music, a.k.a. Frank Tego. Any 2006 peeps here? Oh, yes. That's your man. You should be proud of him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great evening, and we're honored to have very, very, very important people in our midst this evening. A lot of people do not know that the Vice President of the Republic connects with Mfantsipim in many, many, many special ways. I am more than privileged to say that I had the honor of sharing a house with her son back in Mfantsipim School. Bro, it's an honor to see you this evening. And ma'am, you're welcome. We're also joined here this evening by the Honorable Minister for Education. Honorable, when I saw you in the Mfantsipim outfit, man, I was so blown away. And watching you throughout your political career, you are one of the exemplary leaders in Ghana's body politic. And if I had the power, I'll bestow on you MOBA status this evening right now. What's your opinion? Is it possible? It's an honor to have you here this evening. We're on someone's land. Royalty is important. And Osu is not far from La. And if you are the chief in Osu, and you also happen to be a MOBA, you would not say no to attending an event like this. This evening, we're also joined by the Osu Manche, Ni Noche Norte Uwu the fourth. Ni, it's an honor to have you here with us this evening. Thank you very much. And Neil was my senior, was ahead of me, and they dealt with us very well back in the day. The KGL Group Executive Chairman, Mr. Alex Dade, is here with us this evening, and thank you so very much for your support, sir. We are more than grateful to you. Thank you very much. We also have with us the former Governor, Ernest Addison. Yes, thank you very much, sir, for being here with us this evening. We also have Ambassador Soa, Ghana's former High Commissioner to Canada. Thank you very much for being with us this evening. And a lot more that I will be acknowledging as we go along. Let us get this event properly on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, moments like this, you don't just call a man to chair. You don't just call anyone. You call on presence, legacy, and quiet authority. Today, we are honored to have a gentleman whose life reflects the very values that Mfantsipim School stands for over the last 150 years and even more. Discipline, excellence, resilience, authority, service, respect. A man who does not merely occupy space, but elevates it. If you're as ready as I am, then please let's get set to welcome our chairman, Nana Sambru Butler, who's not just a leader, but a custodian of wisdom, a bridge between tradition and progress, and a shining example of what it means to live a life of purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairman for the evening. And I think every Moba who steps up this evening should tell us his nickname, his house, and his year. Do we agree? Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and our very, very special guests of honor. Comrade Honorable Haruna, my brother, Dr. Sir Sam Jonah, Nime, Mr. Headmaster, members of the Board of Governors, Monsieur Payne, Moses Baden Jr., you better have, the staff of Mfantsipim School, and many others. Distinguished old boys, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Good evening to you all. I said good evening. I announce my nickname. It's simply Sam Boots, Sam Butler, Sam Boots. Your Excellency, Vice President, it is both a profound honor and a deeply personal privilege to stand before you today as chairman of this historic occasion, the launch of the 150th anniversary of our beloved Mfantsipim. Your Excellency, we find it most appropriate and indeed most fitting that you are gracing this historic occasion this evening, accompanied by your Chief of Staff. This is coming so soon after your recognition by the University of Cape Coast, whose Chancellor, Sir Sam Jonah, as a distinguished fellow. We warmly congratulate you for that. Madam Vice, we also celebrate you as a proud product of Wesley Girls High School, an institution I fondly regard as the Girls' School of Mfantsipim. I know there are these other people who didn't cheer for this. I'm looking at one. Indeed, many distinguished Ghanaian women have emerged from Wesley Girls High School and were further shaped on the hills of Kwabotwe through their sixth form education. We recall with pride the late Dr. Mary Grant, the late Mrs. Lily DeGraff Johnson, Second Lady of the Third Republic of Ghana. Also, Professor Dolphin, Mrs. Mary Chinui Hersey, and ubiquitous Dr. Sylvia Boy, who is with us here today. Just to mention a few. Your Excellency, I am personally privileged to have worked together with you. I recall with pride your historic tenure as the first female vice-chancellor of a public university in Ghana, at the University of Cape Coast, where I served as a member of council, with Sir Sam Jonah being the chancellor. Later, while you served as Minister of Education, you saw me in as chairman of the University of Cape Coast Council and pro-chancellor of the university, an honor I deeply cherish. You also graciously agreed to launch the Brew Butler UCC Grassroots Research Fund, which continues to benefit hundreds of research graduates. Medasi, Nyamishiro. Your Excellency, your presence here today affirms the enduring national significance of this great institution called Mfantsipim. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this 150th anniversary, I see there's shaping Ghana's greatest minds. This is not merely aspirational, it is historical, it is factual, it is Mfantsipim. For 150 years, Mfantsipim has not only educated students, it has shaped minds, molded character, and produced leaders. The Mfantsipim man is not trained merely to rise, but to lift others as he rises. Excellence here is not accidental, it is an inheritance. We remember with pride the faithful eight whose vision and sacrifice laid the foundation for all that we celebrate today. History affirms this legacy. According to Professor Edubuahin himself, an old boy, he says, and he notes, that 11 out of the 16 top civil servants in Ghana in the 1960s were Mfantsipim old boys. Your Excellency, during the Second Republic, the Prime Minister, Professor Dr. K. Buzia, his deputy, Kwesi Lamte, were both products of Mfantsipim. On the other side of the political divide, Dr. Agama and his deputy, E.R.T. Majite, were also old boys of Mfantsipim. Leaders who distinguished themselves as old boys of the school. The school produced distinguished international figures such as His Excellency Kofi Annan, Alex Kwesinsaki, Dr. Chambers, amongst others. We equally are proud that the school has produced 3 male vice presidents of the Republic of Ghana, being His Excellency J.W. Digaf Johnson, Excellency Konkensen Aka, then Kwesi Bekwin Emisata. And if I may respectfully add, 1 female vice president. Beyond public service, Mfantsipim products have excelled across professions and national life. In law, we celebrate the luminary John Mensah Saba, Kobna Sechi, Chachu Chiketa, and recent days, Frank Davis, and the rest. And of course, William Waldbrew, my granduncle, who generously gave the Kakumdo lands to Wesley Girls High School. In communication, we recognize Kwesi Trim, 99.7, B.B. Appington, Ato Afo, the current managing director of Graphic Corporations Group. In education, we acknowledge F.L. Battels, Professor Kwesi Adakwa, former Vice Chancellor of KNUST, Charles Quay, founder of Fijai Secondary School, and A.R. Kujo, who ensured that Fijai became the Mfantsipim of the West. I acknowledge Professor Bonzi Simpson. We also cannot forget Osofo Gediel Akwa, F.C. Grant, as well as the distinguished brothers Professor Ato Dixon and Professor Kwesi Dixon. In science and medicine, we recognize the first and the pioneer in the private sector of medical care, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, the late Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, not this one. Professor Ofiraje, Professor Ampofo, and Dr. R.P. Bafo. In IT, Obisua Penyin Moses Baden. Who doesn't have a Ghana card here? We all have it. Congratulations. This is evidence-based. Infrastructure. We recognize Frank Teki, Engineer Frank Teki, the brain behind the planning of the airport city today. Also, Akem Ferguson, the distinguished surveyor, widely regarded as the man who surveyed the lands of Ghana. And, I must add, an Mfantsipim old boy who wants to remain anonymous, who is a director shareholder of Arab Contractors Ghana, an African international construction firm operating in 35 countries. In energy, Mfantsipim has shaped some of Ghana's most influential industry leaders, such as Jabesh Emisata of VRA and Bui Power Authority, Ben Asante, formerly of Ghana Gas, Kwekube Diako, Chase Petroleum, Kwame Nto, CEO of GNPC. We also acknowledge the pioneering leadership role played by Chachu Chikata, together with Gusi Tando and Trifi Poku, all old boys, whose work has helped establish GNPC as one of Ghana's most professional and profitable state institutions. We are equally proud of distinguished old boys associated with SemPower Generation. This company serves over 1 million Ghanaian households and contributes dependable energy of about 12% in the country. The old boys are engineer Kweku Awatwi, who was also senior or school prefect in 1970, a director. Engineer Theo Saki, who is the CEO, and yours faithfully, Butler, board chairman. We acknowledge traditional leaders, the Nana Kobel Ketia, the 4th and the 5th. Indeed, in the armed forces, we have men like General Ofer Saki, General Danpra, the late Chief of Defense Staff Matthew Kwashi, the current Chief of Air Staff Air Vice Marshal Ajin Frimpong. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of Mfantsipim is a story of minds shaped, minds disciplined, minds committed to service. The Holy Bible reminds us in Proverbs 22:6. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. You can see how Honorable Samuel Mills, MP for KEA, the Vice President's constituency, excels at the Public Accounts Committee sittings. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for 150 years, Mfantsipim has done exactly that. It has trained minds, it has shaped character, it has produced leaders, it has served Ghana. And as we mark 150 years, we are only celebrating the past. We are not only celebrating the past, we are renewing our commitment to the future. The responsibility is to preserve this legacy, strengthen it, and pass it on to generations unborn. To bring my address and opening remarks to a close, I say, let us honor the past by building the future. Let us continue shaping Ghana's greatest minds. Let us ensure that Mfantsipim continues to stand always as the school of the nation. And at 150 years, we declare, Shekan, and as my fisher folk from Cape Coast, Amina and Commander, will say, Yejina Pintin Yabontia. In Latin, we say, Mfantsipim vivit legatum permanent. English will say, Mfantsipim lives, the legacy endures. On this note, it is my singular honor to accept the responsibility of chairing this function for the launch of the 150th anniversary celebration of Mfantsipim School. The French version will be given by Her Excellency. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
The voice of authority. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Your journey continues to inspire us, and your presence here this evening dignifies this occasion in very, very special ways. Man, that list was tall. You know the interesting thing about Mfantsipim School? You can work very, very, very hard. But when they are mentioning names of those that have passed through the school and impacted society in positive ways, so now check. Because the list is long. I mean, I was sitting there listening, and I was like, if I had attended any of these less relevant schools, like the one near Medina Market, what do they call them? Like, they would have mentioned my name by now. But that's also the good thing about Mfantsipim. What it means is that when we look up, we are people who can hold our hands and take us further. It is a great institution, and we're happy to be a part of that family. Every great celebration needs a steady hand at the helm, and Captain John B. Yamwa has been exactly that. With precision, dedication, and calm leadership, he has steered the planning committee of this historic milestone with excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, you'd realize that I haven't really done any proper Akwaba because it is not my place. In fact, I don't even know why we're here. But Captain John B. Amwa does. Please, if you're ready, let us welcome up here the chairman of the planning committee to give us the proper Akwaba and why he has summoned all of us here this beautiful evening.
Very good evening to you all. It's always very difficult to speak after my senior, Nana Butler. He takes the words out of my mouth. But I have the duty to explain to you why we're here today. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrusu, our distinguished chairman for this occasion, Nana Bro Butler, Ebusiapenyin of MOBA, Moses Kwesi Bedin Jr., distinguished invited guests, illustrious old boys, parents and students of Mfantsipim, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to this historic event. 150 years ago, in a coastal town, approximately 150 kilometers west of our current location, a remarkable legacy of faith, courage, and purpose was born. That purpose was clear and profound: to produce well-educated and properly oriented indigenes of the then Gold Coast, now Ghana, equipped to serve both God and country. Over the decades, this vision has blossomed into a nurturing ground of excellence, a bastion of education, and a repository of statesmen, diplomats, sportsmen, academics, innovators, philanthropists, and visionaries who have served our nation and the international community with distinction. Today, we gather with a deep sense of pride and gratitude to unveil a thoughtfully curated program of events and activities. Beyond celebration and fellowship, these initiatives are strategically organized to offer a balanced expression of heritage and legacy, a blend of tradition and innovation, while maintaining a clear, forward-looking vision. This celebration will showcase the achievements of this great institution, pay tribute to its visionary founders, celebrate its illustrious sons, and challenge the future generations to uphold the enduring values encapsulated in our timeless motto, Dwin Shekan. This instrument of thought or guiding philosophy has shaped generations of products of Mfantsipim and continues to define our legacy of excellence, leadership, and service to God and nation. Since our inauguration in Kumasi in August 2024, the Anniversary Planning Committee has worked diligently and tirelessly to ensure that this sesquicentennial is impactful, inclusive, and worthy of the legacy it represents. Every program has been intentionally crafted to honor our past, engage the present, and inspire the future. As we gather to officially launch this sesquicentennial, we are reminded that the story of Mfantsipim is inextricably linked with the story of Ghana's development. The school's impact transcends its immediate community, representing a vital chapter in the evolution of secondary education in our nation. We also acknowledge with deep appreciation the foundational role of the Wesleyan Methodist Mission and the visionary leadership of pioneering individuals whose foresight and sacrifice gave birth to this great institution. From the early architects such as Reverend Thomas Pico and James Pico, to distinguished figures like John Mensah Saba and his compatriots, their commitment laid the enduring foundations of Mfantsipim. We honor the countless unsung heroes, teachers, administrators, benefactors, old boys, whose quiet dedication, service, and sacrifice over the decades has sustained and strengthened the school. It is through their collective efforts that Mfantsipim has grown into the institution of excellence, leadership, and service that we celebrate today. We are also particularly grateful to the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, for accepting our invitation to grace this landmark occasion with her presence. Thank you. We also acknowledge and thank our valued partners and sponsors, KGL Group, the Margins Group, and the Multimedia Group Limited, incidentally, all led by Mfantsipim Old Boys, for their exceptional support in the organization of this anniversary. In addition, we appreciate our distinguished guests from the corporate community and the various alumni associations, especially our sisters from Wegehe Old Girls Association, which includes Her Excellency the Vice President, and also our arch rivals, Adisadel, represented here by none other than Sir Sam Jonah. As we embark on this journey of commemorations, may we be inspired by the enduring values of Mfantsipim and recommit ourselves to the pursuit of excellence, integrity, and service. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Methodist Church Ghana, the Board of Governors of Mfantsipim, the Mfantsipim Old Boys Association, and the 150th Anniversary Planning Committee, I welcome you all to the presidential launch of Kwaboche's 150th anniversary, a celebration that also marks, most importantly, 150 years of secondary education in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the event of a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, help me appreciate our chairman for the planning committee, Captain John B. Amwa. Captain, you haven't told us your nickname. Captain. Somebody, no, you just tell us. Tell us. Nicknames we like.
I left school before I got to know I was called Sacramento.
That's a nice name. Sacramento, your works may be behind the scenes, but its impact is clearly on display tonight. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you very much. Please, another hand for Chairman for the Planning Committee. And early on, I did introduce the Osu Manche as Nochidni Uwu the Fourth. It is Tete Ni Note Uwu the Fourth. And he was house prefect in Battlesnath Middle Floor. Yes, in 1996. School is blessed. Even in royalty, when they are mentioning names, a chance they drew so. Our lights are going to go dim a bit as we fixate our eyes on the LED screens. We'll take a few messages from some of our partners. And then, for those of you watching us from across the globe and on Joy Prime, who have not had the experience of getting to get close to that institution, the reason we're gathered here this evening, you're going to watch a short video about the school. Bench, the screens. Thank you.
For over 3 decades, Margins ID Group and its subsidiaries imagine a world without worry. A place where everyone is who they say they are, where the people and assets most important to you are protected. A safe space. For over 3 decades, Margins ID Group and its subsidiaries have been building this world. Our state-of-the-art access control systems, asset tagging systems, and CCTV installations ensure that the assets most important to you are protected. We have designed and built award-winning national identity infrastructures, supported by our ultra-modern in-house design and built verification system. We are the identity experts. We represent you, and we are certified to do so. Proudly, the only African facility to be certified by Intergraph at central banking level. Margins ID Group, made in Ghana by Ghanaians for the world. Visit us now at www.marginsgroup.com.
Samuel Xian has the opportunity to send Ghana into the semi-finals of the World Cup. And he hits the bar!
Welcome to Ghana, where everyone is a coach. We play our football how we want and not how we are taught.
Tonight in Abuja, what are your predictions?
Ghana. where we know how to perm our chances of qualifying.
We qualify, even if we draw 1-1, we win.
We believe, we believe, but we'll eat before the match. Even on our worst day, just like our jollof, our game is better. Ghana we day, Jama all day. KGL Group, proud sponsor of the Black Stars. It's ours, the Ghana game.
Mommy, watch your 5 cities.
25 cities, 6 cities,
60. Na egg gang.
5 cities,
Chicken gang.
12 and 15.
Na fish, ni tina shop on ani.
12 cities. 6 cities anything.
Mommy, gari ni palia. Na chichima.
They say money changes people. How much money will change you? On 590 Mobile, your next cash alert can change everything. Play now on *959#.
Customer. Let me ask you.
Mommy, bibi ati. Mommy, watch your 5 cities.
25 cities.
There is a hill in Cape Coast. For 150 years, boys have climbed it. Some came with trunks packed too full. Some came with nothing but hope, all looking for something. What they found here, what generations have built here, became something far greater than bricks and mortar. It became the soul of a people. It became the school. It became Mfantsipim. The name alone stirs something in those who have walked these paths. For 150 years, this hill has been a sanctuary, a place where young men from every corner of Ghana come to find themselves.
Mfantsipim is the #1 institution that has shaped my life. I've been to quite a few colleges and universities, but Mfantsipim stands out. One day, in September 1961, as a green one who just entered Mfantsipim from Kumasi, we're walking down the street on Kotukraba to Methodist Temple in Kingsway. And what arrested my attention was this young person, lady, who stopped on the side of the road to make room for us and said, "Batas number no." Now that shook me in the sense that I've never been so recognized in my life. And then once you've been acknowledged and validated that way, you tend to walk a little taller.
In fact, I don't know, but all along I had yearned to be in Mfantsipim School, the most famous secondary school in Ghana. And when I came to the school, I was excited and was so happy. And in fact, I felt blessed to be in Mfantsipim School. My first day, but I had not seen the architecture of those buildings in my life. So I was excited to be there.
Every boy who comes to Mfantsipim makes an ascent from childhood to something larger. The journey is not always easy. That is by design. It began in 1876. The Gold Coast was changing. A group of Methodists, nationalists, visionaries decided that this land needed a school that would shape leaders. John Mensah Saba, a pioneer student, gave it a name from the Fanti tongue. Mfantsipim, thousands of Fantis. But he meant something deeper, something that spoke directly to the soul of the people. In 1907, something remarkable happened. Or rather, something almost didn't happen. A British Methodist missionary and educator arrived from Sierra Leone, the Reverend W.T. Balmer. He found no teachers, no headmaster, just 8 boys studying alone, keeping the dream alive on their own. He called them the Faithful 8. And because they were faithful, he stayed. The school lived.
I went to Mfantsipim in 1980 with a group of friends. And I would say that it was a great experience, 160 of us getting to know each other, different backgrounds, cultures. And the beauty about Mfantsipim is the almost egalitarian nature of the school. It doesn't matter whether I had friends whose father was a governor of the Bank of Ghana, CEO of multinationals, and then people who just came from a farm. But we were able to blend together and have that community spirit. And it takes us back to this old story about what the Faithful 8 is. When we say the Faithful 8, people wonder it's all about. But you can imagine a school where there are only 8 students left. There's no teacher. What any student would do in this, they will all go home. But these boys stayed. They stayed the course till Reverend Balmer came, found them, helped them to excel at Cambridge. So I think that defines what Mfantsipim is. The 2 pillars I think that define us most are the Faithful 8 and our motto. We say, Dwintrekan. In everything you do, your personal life, think of the consequences of your actions.
There are 2 things about Mfantsipim which have been well ingrained in me and has helped me all through my adult and professional life. The first is the school motto, Dwintrekan. As a pilot, as an instructor pilot, I always used to say to my students, if you had been to Mfantsipim, you would find this job very easy. Because all you have to do is to be sure you're always ahead of the game. The second is the Faithful 8 spirit. That can-do spirit that tells you that nothing is impossible.
Siren is simply a noise to those who have never heard it, to those who have lived it. It is a call to action, to discipline, to the beginning of something.
It
was a tradition that you had to write the own exam, and the smallest among the students was usually the first, and the biggest was the last. In fact, I remember the biggest was of Hassan. He was crying. So, to be sent back home?
No thick rule book. Just that one sentence. Responsibility. Thinking for yourself. That one sentence has guided more boys than any manual ever could.
For us as a school, our motto, Dwintrekan, is our starter. The boys will have to be sure that they are in the environment that will push them to think and look ahead. Out of that, we have our core values, the godliness, the integrity, the faithfulness, service, respect. In our school, breach of common sense is a breach of what school rules. So all of this together, making the boys know that at Mfantsipim we are not only teaching them to excel academically, but the whole being, holistic education. So we encourage them to live by these core values.
But Mfantsipim isn't all about the academics. The school nurtures in too many ways through various clubs and societies. And then there is Interco, the athletics competition that is war by another name. Mfantsipim against their great rivals, year after year, generation after generation.
90s, Interco was a battlefield in the House of Cape Coast, and Augustins dominated us with June, July. However, the rise of Moses Sechi in the late 90s, he came to break all the records, and Kwabotwe won everything in 100, 200, and 400, setting the records that has stood until Kwabotwe came to break them again. Kwabotwe Center for Sports Excellence is where talents are developed.
The moment that had me going is when one of my schoolmates, that is my classmate actually, his name was Nanaham, when he at one time talked to me and said, hey, academically you're good, you're not bad, but then I see a future in you with sports whereby you are very, 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 very talented in sports, because I could play volley, soccer, basketball, best athlete in school. So, I mean, there was a lot. And then when he talked to me about that moment, that kept me really thinking and really getting up. And then that really changed my whole perspective about schooling and then also about everything.
That's not all. We have also been 6 times champions in the athletics. I mean, so for zonals and Interco, that is zonal level, 6 times championship, and it's zonal level and regional level, as you all know, on to 5 times champions. And we are just above all, and we keep on demolishing and destroying those our arch rivals who have been making a lot of noise out there.
Brotherhood isn't just on the tracks. It is also in the classroom, where boys would push each other just to excel.
Mfantsipim School has produced numerous influential individuals who have profoundly shaped the destiny of our nation and the world at large. And that is what encouraged me to choose Mfantsipim School.
From this hill came a Secretary General of the United Nations. From this hill came the first black man ever to become President of the UN General Assembly. From this hill came a Prime Minister, governors, judges, doctors, engineers, musicians, actors, producers, lawyers, teachers, preachers, journalists, and a lot more. But the greatest product of Mfantsipim is not any one man. It is the idea that Ghana, that Africa can produce leaders who are brilliant and humble, ambitious and ethical, fierce and faithful, built to change the world. Mfantsipim reminded Ghana what sustained excellence looks like. The National Science and Math Quiz had its trophy returned to the school, making it a back-to-back victories and proving that brilliance on this hill is no accident.
Lots of YC examinations and results, fantastic. Sports, excellent. SMQ, we are there. By God's grace, it's possible because of the support I have from the old boys. The past was attending Captain Popojo, and then the current one, they've been of tremendous help. And the church as well. But people are helping because God called. So when He calls you, you know, He will not leave you. So we are winning because God is with us.
At the 148th anniversary, the head boy, Master Isofi, stood before an audience of dignitaries and delivered an extempore speech. No notes, no cues, the outcome of deep, laborious, and somewhat complicated preparation in more than 10 languages. The hallmark of leaders forged on this hill.
Being the head boy of this great institution comes with a deep sense of responsibility. And I mean, I faced many hurdles along the way, not alone, but with my fellow prefects. But with the help of the Almighty God, we have sailed through successfully.
There is a hill in Cape Coast. For 150 years, boys have climbed it. It is called the soul of a people. It is called Mfantsipim, and it is only just beginning.
It is my humble duty to invite you all to Cape Coast in November 2026 for our Grand Durbar celebrating 150 years of secondary education in Ghana.
This sesquicentennial is not just about Mfantsipim. It is about the celebration of 150 years of secondary education in Ghana and its impact on national development. We are inviting you all to join us in Cape Coast in November as we celebrate Mfantsipim and its achievements.
Mfantsipim is 150, a legacy of excellence, leadership, and service to inspire the future. We do not do this for us, we do it for all the saints.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a few goodwill messages, very short messages. We'll take the first from the representative from the Methodist Church of Ghana, and then we'll take the next one from Sir Sam Jonah. Very short messages. First, the Methodist Church. Please, a big hand as Reverend comes up.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Professor Jane Nana Pukwajiman, Vice President of the Republic, the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Chairman for this occasion, and standing on all the other existing protocols. 150 years in the life of any institution calls for celebration. And for us as the Methodist Church Ghana, it is a matter of pride. But also, it's an indication of faith. The story of the faithful eight shows that it is the doing of the Lord. And we want to draw attention to this fact, that if secondary education in Ghana has come this far, it is by the grace of God, and it is trusting in His goodness and mercy. So it should be 150 years of giving thanks to God. It is like the proverbial mustard seed, the proverb of our Lord Jesus Himself. A tiny seed sown in faith, but it grows to become a huge tree, providing shade for thousands of birds. Now, in the words of the presiding bishop of the church himself, he concludes his goodwill message by saying, "My prayer is that this 150th anniversary will not merely be a commemoration of past glory, but a fresh consecration to greater excellence and service for generations yet unborn." So on behalf of the Methodist Church Ghana, the presiding bishop says, I congratulate the entire Mfantsipim fraternity on this historic achievement and assure you of our continued prayers and partnership. May the God who planted this great seed in 1876 continue to cause it to flourish, bearing fruit in Ghana, Africa, and the world. Congratulations to the school on 150 years of legacy, excellence, leadership, and service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall quickly take the next one from Sir Sam Jonah. Please keep clapping as he comes up. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, our most distinguished Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Pukwajiman, our Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, distinguished old boys of Mfantsipim, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I received the invitation to be here today, I read it 3 times. Then I called my PA and I asked her to read it too. Then I called my lawyer to check whether it was legally binding. Because as you know, I am a Santa Clausian. And for a Santa Clausian to be invited to speak at an Mfantsipim event voluntarily and in peacetime is not an everyday occurrence. Now, a generous man would say this invitation is simply a gracious gesture of goodwill between 2 great schools. And perhaps it is. But I have another theory. I think, and I say it with great affection, that somewhere in the back of the minds of those who organized this event, there's a very quiet, unspoken acknowledgement that when I was a young man, Mfantsipim had a chance to enroll me, and they blew it. I ended up at the saddle, and I suspect that has lingered. So I choose to receive this invitation in that spirit, as a warm, if somehow somewhat belated, expression of what might have been. And I want Mfantsipim to know, all of you, that there are no hard feelings. These things do happen. I turned out reasonably well. And I bear absolutely no grudges. We move on. Your Excellency, our distinguished Vice President, I must say the organizers of this event have assembled a most intriguing panel today. An Mfantsipim anniversary event, an ambassador speaker, a Wesley Girls who happens to be Vice President. For those who may not fully appreciate the significance of that combination, let me tell you, Wesley Girls was for many decades the principal theater of war between our 2 schools. Let me assure you, we didn't fight with weapons. We fought with charm, wit, brilliance, and if I'm being honest, rather carefully ironed uniforms. Your Excellency, I don't know which side of that contest you found more persuasive in those years. But given that you rose through and became a Vice President, I can only think that you were wise enough not to be distracted by any of us. Now, teasing aside, now let me be serious and plain speak. Ladies and gentlemen, 150 years, when the Methodist missionaries laid the foundations of this great school, Ghana as we know it didn't exist. The motor car had not yet been invented. The telephone was brand new. The electric light bulb was just 3 years away. And yet on that hill, on that famous hill, men of wisdom, men of vision, decided that what Africa desperately needed, urgently, fundamentally, unapologetically, was education. They were right. What has emerged from this great institution across a century and a half is by any measure extraordinary. Statesmen, jurists, physicians, academics, entrepreneurs, diplomats, and one man who stood before the entire family of nations and gave humanity a conscience, Kofi Annan, a product of this beautiful school and a son of Cape. He was a gift to the world. And ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, we live in today in a deeply troubled times, a world of rising tensions, fracturing alliances, and the multilateral order under siege. At moments like these, one feels with particular sharpness the absence of the man who could walk into any room on earth, any room however divided, any room however hostile, and make its occupants feel that reason was still possible, that dignity still mattered, that our common humanity was worth defending. Kofi Annan was that man, and the world right now misses him more than it knows how to say. That man was formed on that beautiful hill of yours. It's not a footnote to Mfantsipim's story. It is perhaps its finest chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, no rivalry, however fierce, however fun, however fondly remembered, can diminish that legacy. And I, a Santa Clausian, say so freely and without reservation, and I'll be honest with you, that there is a tradition between the two schools of never conceding anything to the other. Not a football match, not a debate trophy, not a golf tournament, not so much as a compliment without a footnote. Indeed, my revered headmaster, the late R.T. Olinspobi, is probably watching me right now with this suspicion. But here is what I have learned in the years since those glorious, ridiculous, wonderful days in Addis Ababa and in Cape Coast. Rivalry at its best, ladies and gentlemen, is respect wearing a competitive mask. Addis Ababa pushed harder because Mfantsipim existed. Mfantsipim raised his standards because Addis Ababa was breathing down its neck. And Ghana is richer for both of us. So, on this historic occasion, I do what I suspect no Santa Clausian has done in 16 years of my school's existence. I salute you. Genuinely, warmly, and only slightly reluctantly. May the next 150 years be as remarkable as the first. May the boys who walk through your gates continue to walk out as men of consequence. May this institution remain as it has always been, not merely a school, but a standard. And may Wesley girls continue to inspire the very best from both of our schools, as she has always done. God bless Mfantsipim. God bless Ghana.
Let's hear it for Sir Sam Jonah. Where's the lie? When Sir Sam Jonah, a Santa Clausian true and true, salutes Mfantsipim School, we go to Ayawaso Central some years back to a certain man known as Sheikh Isikwe, and we say, Agbena. It is finished. Thank you very much, sir. That was quite profound. There's a man here who's blessed with the gift of the gab. He is, very well potent and well engrossed and very, very knowledgeable in words of oral tradition. He's going to come up here and share a few words about Mfantsipim, after which we'll take a few more messages, getting us closer to hearing from our education minister and then the vice president. Ladies and gentlemen, before all of that, please, let's make some noise for my big brother and friend, Mr. Leslie Bannerman. Leslie, you tell us your name and your year, your nickname and your year. You won't run away from it.
Oman penine bezechi. Oman adusua chiame. No penyo tegwem. Oye na afasha chiamen. Ole obi abegina ombone Mfantsipim awotuzin. Amazer ke. Why can I even say? Mama Marin Semna, Abako Sema, of Mfantsipim, Hen, or her, a Dunuma fashion in Pui, Namzebrebun. Yimpe Biara, Oyo Brimpon, Anado Queen, war many, Busiana da Sorim. Okay, de binum wobwan wosum woshen obey dem ni pakasin wale sutin akese nyenkataba munsu na wapim zekosopu ma botum na nabosompu ononye de Mfantsipim asododo wo manim na nenkwa na dodo so asomfantsum mo pi akachirimbe afi apim aha wotwe do so nanan no so for pico chiro zekama mpanyfo abrochire de hena sempa hu dwumedi inya bodin power abanfo wenyim wa ha ofirim retomber hen modimbo wadisuo motosin dem afinara na methodist fa adwende obetu mbenyimfo nchiado school ntijo da otodo ibaasa wobosume wogbobran na wotso Wasteland High School wogwe wodimo friend benyin Dunson na wozatuwi Ona church penyin ni James Pico nyimpamona no wezi mfi do awotwepe abrante kwa kra ni moja ya amon dem do esoni ebi ni John Mensa Saba ebi so ni George Ekim Ferguson na hona waka na se yehwe book a wa friend Ghana edikanfo ho anwensem a osofu ye Yedubana mana na raso ye mobile 49 o chroy na o se Ghana asofopon upon Methodist Awuzikan oyem Reverend Francis Chapman Ferguson Granton na no wofa ni George Ekim Ferguson also no omuna osofopon ne mame Elizabeth Grant ona aso emzitwe mara ofi infi apem oha wotwe edu wotwe esia kapem apem oha wotwe edu okon na school no konkon jezi wo school no mu ahra dem so na osofo camp ofi Barbados oboso na nejizi we bifo ho nyi ho na semye de obibinyi ntu nyi obronyi nsi esikan wadusem na raso na otsan osofo ejirfe na asam de ba adinti na opede bifo school fo wo school antare na we da abrofo otu ado de bifo zi abrofo ho na etiro wenyimboem beye de mfe apem ahenum nti ho na enyim mbue a wo betum yanye abrofo ayepe Echirikran or 2 Wesley High School, my uncle Sekai and Sim. Was it Suban? Was it Nipa born to Kana Nezin no Danja, Nusuban born as it was another call. My uncle Brosi or Tristan Yato, now Suko Guadra, Nehunamiana. Mpayfose, our phone, where ye being, Nazi Shunse. Inti John Mensa Saba, na Methodist will be was seen in Ketse there, we were my school agent, What 2 what 2 is in Mfantsipim Public School Limited. They made me not the school for our friend Mfantsipim, Bobazi. What about Brabo soon were fair pim or ham crown in Numin, it's a fool, Mfantsipim also Bendepi. Numuhara, na Reverend Alfred Thomas Batrop, Wabes of Penina, or Dago Coast Methodist. Or Tom Safre Reverend W.T. Bama, Don Fisher Leon, Number Guajo Mensa Saba, non did me one fans from Brabama Beduin, now I come of Raban or Chipper. Mofrabe, when you are on crack. Or Shampo Bois, when you are church in Biara. Now you would there, a shazen, now several poor Bama no do. As some no born in him there to the show. Also, ye. Or 200 faithful aids, and China Bama, Nijezi Kesse, obey what my friend. Osha Susia Mfantsikasan, Obodu Ghana happy. Dapene Biempe, no the Mfantsikasan preach you as already. I saw my one who bore. One hand when my once not Zimun Dofil. Wale, or Dr. Deo, no Tanzi, or Tede Borin. Now, what's the Demian Gofa order backdrop, Balma, Nasaban one tebin, or Buan Fanswin Puntu Crodo. Bera Jacob wasn't say, Machakwa Buini, Orcham Fansman Sasson, now John Mesa Saba, also or drawn Fansman School, no Botina Nation so. John Mesa Sabayara, no Dinukutum Ske, no Ditia, a church school for he answered so one poso, do chronic a tempo, no showan. Backdrop na Saba Ninara will film a pim a hand cronedu. A back of something, or suffer backdrop new. Now, what they matter is in Juma, our friend for all the saints, what they pray, the school anthem. Bill, Mr. Bill Reeves, or Sophoga de Aqua, also, what your school anthem will brofum. A chin, what the Gadi Aqua, Nadrian Shakan, what is this, sister? The main Juman, Wale, was share die, Kai, John Mesa Saba, but was it come to one year? Saba didn't feel you miss your pet, than paying with it, Sebi. Kusinyin $1 no frame riketu. Ejuma asofo bama, sofo daya, na sofo senate waya won Mfantsipim, or sofo lokat be she mukene. Afia paper hand grade asakron, lokat photo kesibisi where odesi dan mo be the system Mfantsipim we. Ovien oyi Mfantsipim for free Mount Hope no one ba ho. Lokat yara no chrom bra wodi bu Mfantsipim metri o man yi mu school nyinara. Zero, Zibu Home School. Look at Yara, no the school for one tarishe, Babazi. Look at Yara, no the school in Quay, Zifi, a bien dacor, the bar, a quarter dacor. Look at Yara, no then school, walk on a bien wa fulcrum, or the Anabasa, wa fulcrum. Look at Yara soon offer old boys, not Oma Watcher as well, no man one W, no boy one walk or peer as you can. Woman share one eye. Okay, my entry I don't call a church ni dance or benfo du boy kind o Sunday nimziwa for Japanano. O say on cherry o mangana ho babo won o Mfantsipim the ndwuma one a for them scream obeyama woman. Na dem asemi okay o ye no kra na do oboa o me hwe kakre. Edu boy bi o say mbre bi abe o Ghana ha no man pin buzi a o ko Mfantsipim wo na be the tribute oya je Kwesilamtin na William Oforiata won so Mfantsipim ode onso ara afafo na wonya abemin me chiro position won penyin iti magite na BK Gama we na wo Mfantsipim on chepi na wo hui ode o mem o man penyin ti echiri Diga Johnson konkansin aka kebie bisata we na so Mfantsipim ye kan kra Dr. Alex Kwesinsaki ono so be ye egwem sideni binya ozi kan wo amanaman bia sukuru ansa na echi okunyin kofianan busumuru anan oposu anan opako ono so be ye amanam bia sukuru na won kenzefo emu ya amanfu kunyin ni pinara so wo mbia foforo dan hemfo mbrachiame abenfo asofo adoyafo adaserefo nsrodafo aporisefo egwezefo na nkaka ho wa dan etisiri na nkwabran a wona brabo ya kondo na wa hyenkran zema ododo nara nti chere bra lokat kan wa bem woma yenda chere penyufun na ase obronyo obibinyo ebibefun woma yenka FL Battles Reverend Branfo JD Brokwa OK Money HB Akwebadu BK Donchi CK Shen KM Eja JK Simpson Manfred Oduro na Brande Yenini Jami oyo Osofo Ebeneza Edu Mfantsipim tapasita masipi a church for papa a church for obo omo se dada wo denda fo ye na yeda masi dada fo amutse han mamon kade ye yimemo ana mon hwetwem ye nka dem da usande mpemfo se sai ko sumnado na kwato nkwanta ana da kwankrafa bi da ho a menzi kan yi nemo mbom kamfon na bon bran usande ora sa nkwanpada yeda masipi.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Leslie Bannerman.
Methodist Asofuku na nkanka hem president bishops a woyem pemfo a wote egwem wo Mfantsipim pemfuku a water school na no office of gather akwa no do bezi hen no sofo pon mu pon akondoni most reverend professor John Samuel Jedu Mfantsipim mi wie moba fritz besi busuapen mos bed no do ye mambo na ye etiefo si edi adwen ne da wechi pia ye bo hwe osu kaseta no etiefo e me mambo na etie amen.
Thank you very much. We'll take one song from the Mfantsipim School Choir. They've trekked all the way from Cape Coast to join us here this evening, after which we shall invite Captain Paul Fojo, Chairman of the Fundraising Subcommittee, to share a little experience with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the adorable, the talented, the Mfantsipim School Choir with the regimental band.
Be a God.
amazing, amazing. Thank you very much, Mfantsipim School Choir and the Regimental Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the esteemed Captain Retired Paul Forjo, MOBA 1973, and former Ebusia Pigeon aviation veteran and chairman of our fundraising subcommittee.
Your Excellency, Vice President, Excellency Nana, Professor Nana Jane Pokwechiman, Honorable Minister Haruna Idrisu, Chairman Nana Sambatla, all protocols observed. Time is fast spent. It is my pleasant duty to try to raise some money for Mfantsipim and for our anniversary celebrations. Before I go on, the song you just heard is actually the Mfantsipim 150th anniversary choral song. Later on, you'll have the pleasure of hearing the Jama song also. In getting ready for the celebrations, just as anyone would do when you find yourself in the unfortunate position of having a funeral, and you know a lot of people are going to come and visit where you're going to have your funeral. We all prepare for where we expect people to come and to be with us. Ghanaians are very emotional people. When we ask for funds to be given, especially let's say you're on a platform or so, people will be speaking about politics, religion, everything. The moment you come up with things like dues, silence. I was monitoring an old student's WhatsApp page. I believe it was a MOBA USA page. They were looking for $50 from each member for the year. And I was surprised. People were not paying. Then an announcement came, and it said somebody's mother had died. So they were asking for contributions. In 2 days, they had $10,000. And I thought, oh, wow, Ghanaians, we are interested. So tonight, I want you to be emotional. Because if I just say to you, if I just give you the facts, haven't done an audit of the school and how much it's going to cost us to prepare it, it's over 30 million cedis. With all the powers of persuasion, I doubt I can convince Honorable Haruna Idrisu to give me 30 million cedis. We know that quite apart from preparing the school, there are many other things we need to do. Our sponsors have done a lot. I raise my hat to Chairman Alex Dade for deciding that he wants to leave a legacy. I don't have his permission because what he is doing for us is amazing. What Ebusiapim Moses Baden is doing for us with his margins group is amazing. And I am sure that in this crowd here, there are many people who would love to do something amazing. But the fact is, not everyone can do big things. Some may do small. But as I was standing outside and I saw old boys coming in, I spoke to a few of them. And one of them said to me, Ebusiapim, interestingly, they still call me Ebusiapim, even though I'm just the fourth Ebusiapim. Some people say the fourth. He said, Ebusiapim, I will give 200,000. So, and he was way my junior in school. So I take that as some leading guide. For Her Excellency, it is my hope and belief that when she comes to give a speech, she may give an indication. I am also hoping that when the Honorable Minister comes to speak, he will also give an indication. But for the rest of us, I would plead with all of you. I have asked that pledge forms be given. Please, in the spirit of Mfantsipim, in the spirit of Drinshrekan, in the spirit of the faithful eight, that nothing can stop us. I ask you, be generous and be emotional. Be emotional and give. So I'll give a few minutes, and maybe to speed up the process, let me start off by asking if there's anybody here who would want to match the 200,000 I was offered outside. Is the clapping premature or somebody's matching? Meanwhile, people can keep writing. The other thing is, some people don't want to be known. They don't want anybody to know that they've given so much. That is also okay. Just put down the figures. But I only have about 10 minutes. So if you're going to do so, please do it quickly. I see Sam Jonah looking at his phone. I don't know if he's checking his bank account to see how much he intends to give to us. But it's not possible for a Santa Clausian to come to the 150th anniversary when your very motto was formed on the basis of Mfantsipim in trying to, because I think your motto says to be the best or with the best. And you all admit that the only secondary school they could have been speaking about was Mfantsipim. So basically, please give a pledge form to Sam Jonah, and Sir Sam, you can give us dollars. We have dollar accounts, so you can give us dollars. We will accept it. You know. Okay. Is there anybody who is happy to give us 150,000? I see one person. Can I see two people? Okay, I see somebody's hand up there. No, it's a lady with a pledge form. 200. Okay, excellent. So we've gone back up. 200. I see Governor Addison. I see Governor Addison. I don't know if he's been given a pledge form. I hope he's been given a pledge form. Interesting. My 10 minutes is going. But I have two bankers, Her Excellency and Honorable, I don't know, it is the minister. I called a couple of friends of mine and I said to them, I'm supposed to be fundraising and I need everybody's help. So please, don't let me disgrace myself. Contribute. They said to me, Paul, don't worry, you won't disgrace yourself. If you go there, you'll be okay. People will give you the money. I said, no. I want you to give me the money. And what they did, they gave me 100,000. So I have the 100,000 also. So I'm waiting. This is not going well. Okay, can we begin to pick up the pledge forms so we can close the session? Can we quickly collect the pledge forms? Mr. Blagoji, are they picking them up quickly? Okay.
Captain, let's not forget we also have a short code. It's star 920 star 1876 hash. So those of you who want to go digital, you can do that. Yes. Is there a limit? Because I want to use the short code. Can it take like 200,000?
Say again?
It's okay.
It can. No. It can even take a...
No,
It can even take a
Captain,
million.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, I think we can try to bring this to a close. Good. Because time is fast spent, I think I will get off the stage and do the needful, and then if need be, we will let you know. As I leave the stage, it is my pleasant duty to invite to the stage Mfantsipim Moses Baden Jr., the fifth.
So do not forget the short code. It is star 920 star 1876 hash. That is the short code. Ladies and gentlemen, Mfantsipim.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, Professor Nana Jinopoku Ajiman, our Minister of Education, my brother, Haruna Idrisu, my own uncle says, Sanjona, what a brilliant speech from a disco boy. Incredible. Very historic. There's something more I'll say later on. The fourth Mfantsipim of MOBA, Captain Paul Fojo, the Vice President of MOBA, Mr. David Abe, the MOBA Executive Committee, the MOBA National Council, the Chairman of the Mfantsipim 150 Planning Committee. Now I know you are called Sacramento. Now let me digress a bit. I remember we had a talk where Joe Garte and the school, and I sat next to him. Of course, I'm far junior. They called me the small boy Mfantsipim. And he said to me that, is that John Yamwa? I said, yes, why? He's the chairman of the planning committee. Oh, John Yamwa, he was head boy. And he never used to smile. I wonder why he's smiling today. It is fitting that our chairman is a past head boy. You know, Mfantsipim head boys, you have to really be special to be a head boy. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for such a beautiful occasion. Distinguished old boys, the media, ladies and gentlemen, I think our chairman, Nana Butler, is very brave. And the reason why I say that he's very brave is that he started to mention the names of eminent Mfantsipim boys. And I think that's one of the most difficult things to do. Because at Mfantsipim, everybody's a VIP. So who did you leave out? But I think you did a fine job then. And when you started going down that road, I was a bit troubled. But let me say that the purpose why we've gathered here is the 150 years of shaping great minds. It's a very great feat. And Mfantsipim is the foundation of what Ghana has achieved so far. And as we look forward into the next 150 years, it is the hope of every Mfantsipim boy, and indeed the hope of Ghana, that the foundation of secondary education will continue to bring us together, because the boarding system, the secondary school system, that famous decision to marry the Mfantsipim Public School Limited to the Methodist Church in 1907 is very significant to the progress of Ghana. Because for me, it's important that Mfantsipim is not just a mission school. In the merging of the Mfantsipim Public Schools Limited with the Methodist Church, a deal was done. Mfantsipim was not only said to teach people academically, and indeed not just to impart our Christian faith, but they had a strong sense of nationalism. Because in those days, it was very rare, this is pre-independence, to have the school's name changed from Collegiate Richmond College to a Ghanaian name in a Ghanaian language, Mfantsipim, and to have our motto changed from Latin to Fanti, James Shakan. For most people, this is overlooked, but the significance of that is that the new deal in education was being forged, which would inculcate Christian values, academic excellence, but in addition, the most important ingredients, great nationalism, patriotism, excellence, leadership, and the result of that is the great minds that we shaped over 150 years. Now, unlike Nana, I'm going to go back to the eminent Mfantsipim boys of the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society, which for me is the foundation of nationalism, patriotism, and selflessness. These Aboriginal Rights Protection Society founders were all Mfantsipim boys. The only one that was not an Mfantsipim boy, Kwabroni or Wilson Say, is also the one who paid for the rights for Saba and the rest to protect our land against appropriation by the British. It is a significant moment in history because it affects our very being and the wealth of our nation. These men did that selflessly. Saba did not charge a penny for his legal services. And it is on that basis that the Mfantsipim boys have always been imbued with a sense of enlightenment, purpose, nationalism, and giving. Now, as we go into the next 150 years, I hope that we discover again this spirit that has helped build Ghana. And to do that, Mr. Minister of Education, I think we need a new deal. We need a 1907 moment where once again Mfantsipim boys will talk to the church and the state and ask for a new deal. A new deal that is shared by the church, the state, and most of all, the Mfantsipim Old Boys Association. That has existed since 1947. Now, most schools are government assisted. We're just trying to find out what that assistance means in legal terms. But we are government assisted. But not all schools are Mfantsipim. And I dare say that the difference between Mfantsipim and other schools, including at this school, is because MOBA is the longest standing alumni over 70 years. And MOBA is the blueprint on which all alumni are based. Today, the funding of Mfantsipim, I dare say, is shared between MOBA and the state. If that is the case, then we need to imbue that spirit that has built great minds and shaped them for 150 years back into the school by having a new deal with the state. That New Deal is not based on control or politics or public opinion. It's based on outcomes. How do we once again build strong children? As Frederick Douglass said, it's better to build strong children than to repair broken men. And Mfantsipim builds strong men out of boys. That is why we've contributed to Ghana so much. So this New Deal should look at the outcome of education now that we have free SHS, and then look at how we're going to enhance that and improve the quality of leaders that we produce. And at MOBA, I think I speak for all of us, that we want a say in the affairs of the school, and we want a partnership which ensures that we continue to produce great leaders for the next 150 years. And Mr. Minister, I know that you are very forward-looking. I want to give you some examples of what MOBA is doing. Today, MOBA is building the Kwabocho Center for Sports Excellence, which is going to be an investment of about $7 million in shared partnership with the school, in order not to just provide a place where we can train our sportsmen for Mfantsipim alone, but also for all the great Cape Coast schools. We also have built a modern secretariat that is headed by a permanent executive secretary, Mr. Divine Akaba, which is going to take the lessons learned for 150 years and project them for another 150 years with this new deal. This new deal. And I know you will like it because it's going to have better outcomes. You know, it's going to have better outcomes. This is something that we will discuss. MOBA has built a modern secretariat, which costs quite a bit of money as well. And all these initiatives are funded by Mfantsipim boys. The KCSC is being completed by KGL. Alex Dade, I salute you. Thank you very much. The secretariat, the new dispensary is being funded by Old Boys and Ghana Gas, retained Ghana Gas, both the past and present management. We're also building a brand new swimming pool to train swimmers in Cape Coast, and this is not for Mfantsipim, but will also be shared by other schools. And there are many more projects that are projected, capital-intensive projects that MOBA is providing over the next 24 months. That's going to go into several millions. I think the estimate is about $12 million thereabouts into infrastructure, which is probably more than the state will give the school in 10 years. So we need a new deal. I thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please get up for Ibushi opinion. Quite a profound presentation. Thank you very much, sir, for your leadership. We're truly, truly, truly grateful for that one. Up as a man, I mentioned earlier on that he's one of the men I respect the most in Ghana's body politic. He's a man I've always admired. And Honorable Haruna Idrisu, as we all know, is Ghana's Minister for Education, and he's a distinguished leader whose commitment to learning and national development continues to inspire confidence and hope. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to say much. We know the man already. Please, let's hear it for him.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, our very distinguished chair an old student of Mfantsipim and my uncle, Mfantsipim. Old boy of Mfantsipim, Nana Brute Butler, chair of this august and momentous ceremony. Sir Sam Jonah, one of the respected voice of our country, Governor Addison, Chairman Adade, the Osuman chair, and very distinguished ladies and gentlemen of Mfantsipim School and the alumni of the school and the gentlemen of the school. My task this evening is a very simple one. Is to give support to Ghana's Vice President, Professor Jane Nana, who has the privilege, honor, and pride to launch for us Mfantsipim at 50. Mfantsipim at 150. I'm sure very soon the question would be even the propriety of what I'm wearing as I accompany the special guest of honor. At 150, the first, the oldest, and the leader of Ghana's education. We celebrate you. If I were to play the role of an additional old person as Sam Jonah did, I would have attempted to change your theme. Mfantsipim 150 years of shaping Ghana's education and producing Ghana's greatest minds. That would have been my addition. And undoubtedly so, because Mfantsipim have played a pivotal role in shaping Ghana's education and will remain pivotal in inspiring the future of Ghana's education. We celebrate you. Can you imagine if Kofi Annan was alive, Nobel laureate, with his Christian values, and I'm reliably and adequately educated that Mfantsipim, and by extension Wesley Girls, is intrinsically linked to Christian values. If Kofi Annan was alive today, he will exude disappointment and ask nagging questions about the status of international law and international diplomacy with his Mfantsipim values. But today, I had a good opinion of Margin's fame Moses wanting a deal with government. I will momentarily spend the next 1 to 2 minutes to share a few government policies. But as he was waxing a deal, I turned to headmaster to ask him whether he was on government payroll or on mobile payroll, and whether the teachers in Mfantsipim were being paid by the state, or there is a new assumption of a deal. With deal, I'm advised by Vice President that we will respond appropriately. I'm happy to announce that President John Dramani Mahama have accepted to be the guest of honor on the 14th of November for the celebration of Mfantsipim at 150 years. And your notable alumni, whether from Moses Baden of Margins or Alex Dade. In fact, my first invitation to this evening ceremony was when I bumped into Alex Dade after the launch of the Mfantsipim book. And he shared a copy and said, I should try and reserve this day and reserve 14th November. And I said that would be for Excellency the Vice President to do the formal launch, and probably would support the President on 14th November. I know that Chachuchi Kata, one of Ghana's finest legal brains, is a product of Mfantsipim. Not talking about Guzi Tano of 24-hour economy, you are still waiting for him to bring results in tandem with the values on how he's executing that in addressing Ghana's employment. I should celebrate Governor Addison, former governor of the Bank of Ghana. He did his part in shaping Ghana's monetary policy and in building that institution. I recognize him. And the many others, from Lawyer Mensah Saba through Prime Minister Kofi Abrefa-Buzia and late Vice President Emisa Atta. Let me now conclude by hailing and thanking Ebenezer Edu, the headmaster. Recently, when I was struggling to find answers to how to improve school placement, he did me the honor of chairing the review committee, which is providing government a blueprint as to how to reform the school placement system. And I'm happy to note that, guided by the recommendations of his committee, we have a crisis, and we should not pretend about the crisis. The state of Ghana's education infrastructure, from the basic to the secondary education level, is not in the best of shapes. So to Moses, you want to deal with the state and government. The deal must be, how do we partner and collaborate to expand and improve infrastructure, to expand access to inclusive quality education in Ghana, and to learn to bear the standards set by Mfantsipim for the country. And to borrow the words of Sir Sam Jonah, I didn't have the privilege of going to Mfantsipim, but for this evening when I was coming, I was asked to choose a hall, Saba Hall. If I would not be in contempt, and if I would be recognized. But to end on the note of the words of Sir Sam Jonah, as he spoke, he manifested what has now become acceptable of rivalry and brotherhood marks in competition. In Ghana, whether it's Adisadal or it's Prempeh College or Mfantsipim, your competition is healthy and worthy, and we should encourage it. May the next 150 years even be more extraordinary for Mfantsipim School. May the soul of the founding fathers, of those who laid the foundation to this vision, rest in perfect peace. And as you observe the gallant men and women in this room, you can trust that Ghana has a brighter future. And we want to thank Mfantsipim School for your contribution to the talent you have produced, who are making significant and distinguished contribution to various aspects of our national life, be it academia, in science, or any other area you are counted. And Madam Vice President, you have to spare me for taking too long a time. When you are to speak, ministers are to listen just like the rest of the public. Therefore, I would abandon my speech on many other policy issues rather than say that from the 1st of July, under President Mohammed's reset agenda, special education for the vulnerable persons with disability will be free in Ghana under the leadership of President Mahama and Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman. An amount of 100 million Ghana cedis have been dedicated in the Get Fund formula approved by Parliament for the takeoff of the new initiative to improve social inclusion. Let me also take opportunity and advantage of your podium. A few weeks ago, Otumfuo Osei Tutu said he was waiting for President Mahama on the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Teaching Hospital. I am assuring him that President Mahama will, before the end of this year, join him to commission the KNUST Teaching Hospital, and an amount of 400 million Ghana cedis have been dedicated for the completion of the teaching hospital at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. So to Mfantsipim School, Aiko, 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 may the next 150 years be even more extraordinary. You remain unmatched. When I saw Sir Sam Jonah give the salute, I'm going to take a photograph of it for the competition. I end on that.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him. The Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Minister, Education, Republic of Ghana. Thank you very much. I trust most of you have this little card. Please do not discard it. Now, later on, one of my seniors will join me up here to take us through, the plethora of activities that have been lined up for this anniversary celebration. One key event that you should eagerly look forward to is the awards night. That is the anniversary awards night. It's going to happen sometime at the tail bit of October, and it's going to be a very exciting evening where there are going to be various awards distinguished in emerging categories in education, pan-industry, mobile special awards, and the likes. So we entreat each and every one to nominate your persons. Just share your nominee with us at awards@mfantsipim150.org. That's awards@mfantsipim150.org. Take a look at this card. If you don't have, just call any of the ushers, they would give you one, and then you will see it. Ladies and gentlemen, the next invitation will require each and every single one of us to be upstanding. We're about to launch the anniversary celebrations, and our Vice President, we're very honored to have our Vice President do us the honors of launching this 150th anniversary celebration. And the Mfantsipim School Choir would welcome her by performing verses 1 and 4 of Methodism 832 for all the saints. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we all be up on our feet as we welcome Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman.
Thank you very much, choir. We respectfully please take your seats. And the chairman for the occasion, please allow me to refer to the protocol established, welcome everybody this evening, and mention the students especially. I'm very, very pleased to join you today at the launch of the 150th anniversary of our dear Mfantsipim, a school with a strong record in Ghana's educational and national development. 10 years ago, I was invited to be the guest of honor at your 140th anniversary celebration, and we have met once more today. Thank you for the kind invitation. So it is safe to say that we go way back. But we go further than that. I'm also proud to have good friends and relatives who passed through your great halls. From the generation of my father, the Sam family, Akom Mensah, Koba, they were all part of this family. Generations on, my brother and my cousins, then our nephews, my son, my sons, they were all part of Mfantsipim. And Mfantsipim has long been an example of excellence, discipline, and character development. But I remember my father this evening for another reason, which Sir Jonah raised. My father's best friend, Mr. Kwapon, was a former student of Adesada. They never agreed on anything. They will spend inordinate time with each other and disagree on everything. But they did so with facts, they did so with logic, they did so with acknowledgement, with respect for each other's perspective. And I miss that in our polity at this time. Mfantsipim was built on strong principles, and the school has cultivated generations of young men who have excelled in public service, academia, business, ministry in Ghana and around the world. And I must also include the old girls, because there were a few old girls who did their sixth form at Mfantsipim when Wesley girls didn't have sixth form then. And I can see Auntie Sylvia. So for that reason, we must recognize the founding vision of the Methodist Church Ghana, formerly Wesleyan Mission. We also honor the countless teachers, administrators, clergy, old boys, missionaries, community leaders, and various benefactors for their sacrifice and contributions. And Ebusiampenyin, I hear you on our New Deal. There's a whole history to that, and I'm looking forward to fine conversations in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, this event is not only about longevity. Today, we are celebrating impact while reflecting on the story of one of Africa's most respected secondary schools. And really, talking about longevity also brings my father in mind. He never agreed that Wesley girls were there before him. Again, we'll debate that at another time. And Mfantsipim's journey is intertwined with the history of education in Ghana. It demonstrates how education has shaped our identity and produced leaders across different areas. This tradition, in which Mfantsipim has a pride of place, has been crucial in developing human capital and reinforcing the intellectual foundations of our democracy and progress. This anniversary, therefore, invites reflection on the structure, quality, relevance, and direction of education. It reminds us that we preserve discipline and character, expand access without eroding excellence, and align education with an innovation-led economy. And so, as we honor this legacy, we must remember that institutions like Mfantsipim have an even greater responsibility. Education must prepare learners with critical thinking, digital literacy, ethical principles, and civic responsibility. It must foster innovation, resilience, and dedication to nation building. I'm encouraged by your initiatives in Mfantsipim, such as your proposed STEM Center, but I must say that education must touch every discipline. Government, of course, remains committed to strengthening secondary education across this country, recognizing that meaningful progress requires strong partnerships with all institutions, including faith-based ones, alumni associations, and the private sector. To my beloved students, you are the keepers of this proud legacy. You have inherited a rich tradition and a responsibility to uphold the values of integrity, discipline, and service. All boys know that their support is important, and students must know that this support is invaluable. Your continued interest and investment by the old boys ensure that many others will benefit from the same transformative experience that you once had. And I congratulate you on this historic milestone and wish you a successful and impactful celebration. May the next 150 years be even more impactful. And on this note, it is my singular honor to declare the 150th anniversary celebrations of Mfantsipim officially launched.
Thank you very much. It's been duly launched. Please, you may take your seats.
I'm sure we can applaud.
Yes, a big hand. Ma'am, please don't leave yet. At this point, I would like to invite the Honorable Minister for Education. Please join us upstage. Nganasam Brubatla, please join us upstage. Yes, Sir Samjona, please join us upstage. Ebishin Opinion, please join us upstage. Anniversary Committee Planning Chairman, Captain, please join us. Captain Forjo, please join us as well. Please join us, Captain Forjo, yes. We'll take a group photograph, and then there's a little presentation that we'll do for our special guest of honor, the Vice President. Headmaster, please. Hedi, please join us, please. Now that the anniversary has been officially launched, it would be appropriate to get to know what has been planned for this anniversary. But before we do that, from all the speeches that you've heard, from everything that you've seen, you know there's no denying the fact that this school is blessed with a plethora of talents, so many talents. We will have a little presentation as well, if we're ready for that. Exactly. And APC Chair, and Ebushia Opinion, if you can help us, do us these honors with this presentation.
For this beautiful occasion and for the acceptance to be with us today to launch this anniversary. The Anniversary Planning Committee is making a presentation to Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. This plaque from the Anniversary Planning Committee reads, this plaque is proudly presented to Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, in recognition of your support of the Mfantsipim 150th anniversary celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now take your seats. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ebushia Opinion, thank you very much. APC Chair, thank you. Nana Sambru Butler, thank you. Dr. Sam Jonah, thank you. Captain Fojo, thank you. We can now take our seats. We're about to take a musical interlude, and this is one of our own. If you look at the years, the latter part of the 90s, Mfantsipim blessed Ghana with a lot of talent. Right, sorry.
Yeah. Also, in this 150th anniversary bag, we have samples of our beautiful cloth for the anniversary and one of the most famous books by F.L. Battels, also for the reading of Her Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency.
So thank you all very much. Yes, we can now go down. So as I was saying early on, the late 90s, Mfantsipim blessed Ghana with a lot of talent. In 1997, we gave Ghana the sports talent. In 1998, we gave Ghana quite a number of actors. And then in 1999, we gave Ghana at least two very successful musicians. One has found himself in politics. You know him as Bais Osei Kufuor, aka Obo. And this evening, we are lucky to have another one do us one of his very, 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 very successful performances of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're as ready as I am, back in the day in Mfantsipim School, on the register, when they mentioned the name, it was Nathaniel Totime. But in GH Showbiz, we call him Coco Valley. Let's give it up for Coco Valley.
Last two, James Biggs, Batman. You feeling it? Last two, remix. Break it down for me. Break it down for me.
This is a remix from KK. Alongside Batman. Alongside Tiny. Are you ready? This is a remix from KK. Alongside Batman. Alongside Batman. Are you ready? Why not Penny? Watch you running, what the? So do you cannot die yet though. Say yeah, no man, no bad, no bad, no bad. I didn't be seen, but I'm so many. I did that, I don't want to say yeah. Say yeah, say yeah, oh no, oh no, Odo, wame suje. Odo, wame suje. Odo, waji mambo. Keke, bisu maneke. Aye. Kaka beni shaka wale. Aye. Aye. Yo, Zaza. Because nobody know what you got. I swear I say your body bad. Or him and that car. I promise you everybody want just take photo. But nobody go to win your lotto. Cheer yo. Bolomo. Shut up, Jojo. This is the remix. Woo. Danza. I'm ready to my power. When I'm over some yeah, I don't want. You was so sad, so was so my bassa. This is the budget, I'm like a friend Zanza. Boom, Zanza, Tiaha, Zanza. What's so wrong, Zanza? So sissy, Zanza. Papa, I'm yellow, now bouncy, Conifa. Yes, I'm a pen, as a bouncy, Cobecum. Say, I'm a fair. Mopes and Musa, that is a Mokoka, okay. I want to move them, Asanum, I will rock. Patronic, I rock, I get to say, I get tough. Munjin, I caught, Nakobisa, Congo. On no cemetery, I say, Abaso, Missy Abaso. Onya koso omia kosa zaza abaso zaza koko beli wasunaba uga koko beli wasunaba zaza koko beli wasunaba amone kibetele uga koko beli wasunaba zaza koko beli wasunaba uga koko beli wasunaba zaza Coco belly was naba. Come on, give it to me, Coco belly was naba. And you bring it, Zazan.
Charlie, what number? The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and your fufu. But I hope you got tested before.